Welcome back to Technology Studies, and this is the exciting final task. So the technology group project is the culminating capstone activity that we're going to do, and it's really good. I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to create. It's a combined task with the science team, so you've got one task across two subjects. So basically what it's going to look like is a science technology expo. We're going to have a table, behind the table we're going to have posters, you're going to have a computer running a digital animation or website, you're going to have a model of technology and a whole lot of associated information. And it's going to be in a classroom where we're going to all look at the great work we have, get lecturers, get other people, friends to come along and see what you've created. So it is an active and task. It's not necessarily a written driven task, but it's a presentation making type task, because it fits so well with our project pedagogy, or the learning by doing, and you're creating as you learn. So this is really one of those key, if you've ever heard it, this is assessment as learning. So let's have a look at the elements. In that, we're going to combine science and technology. So the science part of the environmental issue, including a Christian perspective. What's the issue going to be? If we read above, we see that it's a sustainability issue. And we're going to write about something in a global or a local scale, which is that. So, solution-wise, so what we're going to come up with is the science behind it, communication, the technological solution that will aid to make this problem be solvable or sustainable. You're going to talk about that, and then you're going to create a model which either actually does something or represents a real life model, because it might be too difficult to actually create the actual product. And then the design features are going to be satisfied with the documentation and where you're going to take photographs, you're going to document how you designed, you're going to go through that design process that we learned about previously, and it's going to be, additionally to that, you're going to have a digital interface with typically it'll be a laptop with some sort of presentation or activity that's on there. It wraps it all up. So altogether, we've got the science and what are the things involved in the science around that sustainable problems, what are the things that we can do scientifically, what are the things we can do technologically. Here's a model of a technological solution, this is how we design the solution, and we've got a digital interface which captures all those things. Importantly, the elaborations provide a little bit more information. I recommend that you get with the group, elect a leader, an organiser. Not necessarily the person does everything, no, but the person just keeps everyone on track and on task and communicates information, the central person. Now here's a suggestion, you can do it differently, but between the 3 or 4 members in your group, break it up. So you can see the first person might be able to look at the science and the Christian perspective behind that science, perhaps using the God's Big Story framework, for example, about to unwrap the Christian perspective. The second person might explore, well, what's some technological solutions that can be involved to either decrease the impact or to solve the problem and become part of the solution. The third person is going to actually make the model, document it as they make it, go through that design process and record it and do drawings, etc. on this. Another person might say, okay, well, I'm going to create a web page of all those aspects that we have about the issue. They're going to use graphics, they're going to use some of the words, they're going to find some videos that relate to this story of the sustainability. And all of you get together on the day, and it's an exam week, and you're on the day and you set up your model. So you've got to ask yourself, what are the themes? How's this going to look? If you're talking about water conservation, so maybe you might have a water theme. If you're looking about forestation or something and regeneration there, you might have a forest sort of theme. It's up to you really how you do that. But it's a team and it's a group and it's across both units. Now, before we go to the rubric, which I'm pulling up, not only are we in a group, how will we actually manage this time-wise? Well, with CR192, effectively after week 10, we don't have any more formal presentations. So weeks 10, 11, 12 and 13 and so on, excuse me, are all dedicated as a tutorial where you have class time and to do your group assignments. So we're providing you time to work on this together. I'll be available as a tutor to just go around to be the person who might ask questions of how to do things, or we can together find out and point you in the right direction to solve it. So we'll have lots of times to do this. But I recommend that the groups will be known very early in the course, that you get together and already start to scope up, well, what is a topic that will actually fit the bill in terms of science and technology, and start that process. Start some already initial organisation. So you can hit the ground running the moment your second assessment task, which is the design and technology one, is gone. So here's the rubric. I think hopefully it's self-evident. And this is the science part of it with the Christian perspective. Note the two elements that are there. So that's person number one. The technological solution, in other words, what is the technology? That's person number two. Person number three has made an object which either represents the real object or is actually represents a model of what the real object looks like, and has documented the design process. Risk management, we'll talk further about that in class. Lastly, it's about communicating ideas. Now the communication is different to the normal CHC one. Notice it's, because it's an EXO format, then you have different things. Note one particular difference is the oral presentation. So on the day, there'll be one, two, or three of you, or every person in the group will come up and talk to their display. Just explain what this model represents and what it does, or what is the science behind this, or what's the Christian perspective on this. So you'll have a short oral presentation in front of your stand and explaining what's going on here. How is this assessed? Well, it's not really an essay you're submitting. You're actually submitting your expo booth. So we're going to be looking at that, going around together with the lecturer from the science unit, and we're going to go around with clipboards. We'll have a look at your display, we'll hear your presentation that is there, and we'll do on-the-spot marking, so using these criteria for what you've got there. After you've gone, and before we pack up, we'll take photos of what you've got, and we'll together, both of us, to review our marking. So it's not intensive in terms of written, but it's got a fair bit of work to do in terms of coordination, make it interesting, making it exciting, and communicating ideas. But it should be a fun task, which you're going to have lots of time provided to do, and it is really something that you could take back to a school context. So when you look at design and technology and even science, is this maybe something you could do in your classroom of the future? So task 3, really excited to see what you create. I know it'll be sensational, it'll be really dynamic and interactive, and it'll be great to see what other people have come up with. So I look forward to that, and that wraps up the course.